So I saw the title of this interview and it said Hollaback Ottawa, and my immediate reaction was that's Gwen Stefani's song, Hollaback Girl. But I wasn't actually that far off in terms of the name and how everything came to be. Julie Lalonde is joining us. She's the director of Hollaback Ottawa. If you can, kind of give us a rundown of kind of how this organization started and what it really entails.
So it was started in New York in the mid-2000s, around 2005, 2006. And the idea was to create a space using mobile technology, which was very new at the time, to document people's stories of street harassment. And we define street harassment as any kind of harassment that happens in public space, on the street, on the bus, all that kind of stuff. And so through a mobile app, which is free, through social media and through our website, you can send your stories of harassment and really pinpoint where it happened. So you can say, I was at Rideau and this happened to me, and then a little dot goes on the map. So we can actually start documenting where there's kind of hotspots of harassment across the city.
So it really is, you're hollering back because, you know, people are doing this, and this has grown. It started in New York City, but there are chapters all over North America now, is that right?
All over the world.
All over the world.
All over the world, yeah. And so we're in over 9 different languages. We're in over 50 different cities across the world. We're in Turkey. We're in Latin America. We're in across the U.S. We're everywhere.
So when you go to this forum, what are you actually seeing? Is it stories? It's just literally people, something happens and they choose to be able to express it and to at least let people know this is happening and how it's happening?
Exactly. So for us, we really believe in the power of storytelling. So we don't really talk about street harassment, and oftentimes we call it catcalling, or we kind of write it off as, oh, that's what happens when you're a woman walking down the street in the summer. And we're saying, no, it's not okay. It's a form of violence. It is the most pervasive form of gender-based violence in the world, but it's one of the least legislated against. And it's because we don't talk about it. So for us, it's empowering for people to say, hey, I was walking down the street and someone threw something at me because I wouldn't say hi to them. That's gross. But it's also creating a dialogue that says, hey, if that happened to you, that happened to me. And if you didn't think it was okay, then I don't have to pretend it was a compliment either.
Well, I think that's the thing, right? It's not necessarily a compliment when you're doing something or something happens to you. You don't take it as a compliment all the time. There's a forum, though, that's actually available and here, and the people actually will get to speak, and especially, too, with people like members of OC Transpo, like to really kind of bring in different organizations together. Yeah,
so tonight from 6:30 to 8:30 at the Bronson Center, we're hosting an open forum called Talking Back en Parle. So it's bilingual, it's free, anyone can come, and we're going to have an open mic, so you can come and share your experiences, kind of like what we do on the website. But the latter half is also going to be a community brainstorm around, okay, this is happening, we've seen it in the news over the past few weeks, but what are we going to do about it? Do we want to create campaigns where we have ads on buses? Do we want to have workshops where we go into schools? Do we want to do outreach where we're standing on street corners kind of educating people on, if you see this, this is something you can do? That's what we want the community to decide, and we're just here to sort of lead that process. So that's happening tonight.
What has the reaction been from those that would have to implement maybe some of these ideas that you'll have?
Well, obviously, you know, OC Transpo is a business, so they're concerned with the idea that we're telling people that it's unsafe to take the bus, and that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that for a lot of people, this stuff happens and they're not reporting it. So there's a little bit of resistance there, but I think over the past few weeks, we've seen so many people come forward that you can't deny it anymore. So hopefully we're ready to take action.
Okay, so in terms of people taking action right now, where should they go? What should they do? Either they can take part in the forum tonight, but even leading them through social networking and apps to be able to tell their stories.
Yeah, so if you go online, you can download the Hollaback app. It's called iHollaback. You can go check out our website, which is ottawa.ihollaback.org. Or if you go to ihollaback.org, you can see all the really awesome chapters around the world. And we're also on Twitter at Hollaback Ottawa.
And you can see some pretty interesting stories. You were just telling me some, yeah. Really quite interesting, but the things are happening. And so it's an interesting way for people to be able to express it. And all the information listed there, especially too if you want to get involved in the forum later on this evening. Thanks so much for joining us, Julie.
Thank you.